What's happening, friends? Welcome to Unlocked. It is the world's #1 Xbox show. Ryan McCaffrey joined by Destin Legary, Alana Pierce, Marty Sleva. Good to be back with you guys.
Yeah.
It is, let's see, January 18th, 2017, episode number 279. We've got just a few things, a few interesting topics to cover on this week's show. Wanted to start, we'll have a little discussion about, in lieu of the response to the Nintendo Switch and its launch lineup, what does the Project Scorpio need to have for a launch lineup? What does that lineup need to look like for everybody to be happy and stoked about it? Also this week, Microsoft and/or Epic are getting sued over the Cole Train, Augustus Cole, and that character, and a gentleman who believes that he was the inspiration for it. Woo! So stay tuned for that, as well as a few more things. First up, though, Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
What if that's a startup sound?
Yeah, that'd be awful. I would throw it in the garbage if that was a Scorpio.
It just explodes on startup. That's not a great start.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought, there was a quite the swath of reactions late last week to the Switch, and it's as of now 5-game launch lineup highlighted by highlighted by The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and then 4 other games.
1-2 Switch.
Okay, there's going to be more. There's going to be more than 4.
Yes, there will be
possibly
more than 4.
6.
But yeah, for a lot of people, that's terrible and it's embarrassing, and Nintendo's
really
never going to change. But for other people, it's Zelda, a game that if history holds, could be a Game of the Year contender. Could be, could be a
game
killer
of
app.
show at E3 last year.
Like PS4 is my Destiny box. My Switch will be my Zelda box.
Yeah, but Destiny wasn't there at launch.
That as well.
Also,
even better. I got a great game at launch.
The question is, we've talked about what games are probably going to be pushed as Scorpio titles this fall. But looking now after the reaction to Switch, what do you guys think Scorpio needs to have right out of the gate? What kind of, does it need that killer app? Does it just is a collection of very good titles but no singular must-have title enough? What do we think?
It depends what we think it is, right? Is it going to be like the PS Pro, where it's just an option for some people that you don't necessarily need to have, or is it going to be a new console that doesn't necessarily have backwards compatibility?
Well, it definitely has compatibility. Phil has gone on the record
been
with
talking about that repeatedly. So to make the question simpler, what does it need for me to buy it?
Yeah.
I need a pay rise. And I would say
a 4K television.
Yeah, that would be nice too. And VR support. That would be what I would buy it for. In terms of games, if there's stuff that I can get on my Xbox One, I'm really comfortable with my Xbox One right now. I don't think that without having a 4K TV, without having a bunch of money laying around, I can't do it. I don't think any one game being on both consoles is going to do it for me. And, like Zelda is on Wii U as well. I'm doing the same thing for that. I'm going to get it on Wii U.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, by virtue of the fact that these games, these Scorpio launch titles, and assumedly all Scorpio games going forward, are also going to be able to be played on our Xbox Ones. I'm going to be holding out. That said, if I did have money, and I did have a 4K TV, I think the things, it would have to be a mix of a strong single tentpole game, which I think they're going to try. That Crackdown's going to be that.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then also, they really need to show me third-party support in terms of why sort of the big Ubisoft and Activision and EA games of the fall are going to look significantly better on this than they are on a PS4 or even a PS4 Pro. So stuff like, if the next Assassin's Creed game comes out this fall, Battlefront 2, the Call of Duty game this
Destiny
fall.
2.
Destiny 2, yeah. Like, even if Destiny's marketing still lies with Sony, which I imagine it will, if it looks better on Scorpio or runs better on Scorpio, then that would be the kind of thing. If it's sort of death by 1,000 cuts, I think that would be the thing. If it's like, well, there's no one game, but if all of the games I'm deciding to play this fall are going to look better and run better on Scorpio, then yeah.
And going forward,
yeah.
Did they say that I feel like Phil Spencer did say it's forwards compatible as well.
Yes.
So everything we already have is going to play on.
It's all a platform now.
Which means, it already has a pretty amazing launch lineup.
Yeah.
That's a lot of games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm curious to see Sony did a good job of sort of patching in HDR support and
Yes.
sort of faux 4K uprising for games like The Last of Us and Infamous and Shadow of Mordor,
Yeah.
sort of older games, and it gave you a reason to go back and replay those, and they did. Like Infamous and Shadow of Mordor looked incredible on the 4K TV we have here in the office on the PS4 Pro,
Yeah.
and so a reason to go back to stuff like Sunset Overdrive, even Rise, older Forza games, the Master Chief Collection and Gears, that might be enough for me.
They need to come out. They need to come out with a killer launch lineup because we know that software moves hardware. Every major company has always known that. The Pro came out, it sold well, but basically they're marketing it as, hey, this machine does 4K, and it makes our games look a little bit better. But there's no software reason for me to buy that yet, so I have had no reason to convert from PS4 to PS4 Pro. And I think Microsoft knows that. Microsoft knows that they need a killer software lineup, and that's why they've been silent about any upcoming titles. For the most part, I think they're saving it all for the Scorpio so that they look like they have a big launch lineup, and they plan around the launch of that console.
If there aren't any exclusives, it could be that it doesn't matter to us. But maybe if a box comes out and says playable on Scorpio or something like that, there are a lot of people who don't realize that things are backwards compatible. That's still absolutely a thing. Like there are a lot of people who...
True.
I feel like the Wii U didn't sell that well because a lot of people who bought the Wii thought that the Wii U was just a gamepad add-on instead of being a new console. Like
Yeah.
I feel like it's easy to forget that when you work at IGN. All of our readers know this stuff. We know this stuff. But having maybe that on the box for a launch lineup, even though I know that it's still on Xbox One, and that means that launch lineup doesn't really mean anything to me, I guess will sway some people who think it's all new.
Just look for the Scorpion on the box.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's a hard thing to talk about launch lineups when it's on multiple things.
We don't know enough.
We've talked about this, that stuff like VR and 4K, it's an uphill battle trying to convey that to an audience, not only just sort of the grand audience of like, mom and dad who go to Walmart to buy something, but also how to visually convey that.
When people are looking at that content on IGN or on YouTube
your
on a
phone.
phone
on their
screen.
1080 monitors or their phone.
I feel like they need to, like, what I think Microsoft's going to do is just hinge on something that's simple and clean, like the most powerful video game console ever made.
Well, they're already doing that.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that is the elevator pitch for this thing.
Well, the thing that has me most excited and has since the reveal is Todd Howard saying he was excited about VR or hinted at VR, which is Bethesda VR potentially coming to Scorpio. Like that to me is a launch lineup.
And that's where I'm with you, Alana, and I think you hit on that at the beginning of the conversation. And that I think is where, because we already know, of course, I missed last week with the big Scalebound news, and a lot of people freaking out, like what's going on with Microsoft? Fable Legends canceled and Scalebound canceled, and we've looked at Crackdown, and we're looking at State of Decay 2 and Forza 7,
Sea of Thieves,
hopefully this year. But then what else?
That's just what we know.
And I agree with you. I think the differentiator as far as what's the new experience that Scorpio can provide, and I agree. I think it's VR, and that's because I haven't dipped my toe into VR at home because it's just too expensive, and it's not. It's the games aren't there yet, even though
Very accessible.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it. So if Scorpio can convey a heck of a VR launch lineup, that's where I think we could move the needle here.
Yeah,
on this thing.
The thing that worries me about that is, 2016 was the sort of VR's coming out party, and I don't think it quite made the gigantic cannonball splash that some people thought or hoped it would.
That's fair, yeah.
Maybe it's a slow burn of a technology, but PSVR is the best selling of the three major platforms, and even that did not meet Sony's expectations. And just this week, we saw that Guerrilla Cambridge, one of the Sony first-party studios who is responsible for Riggs, which was one of their tentpole VR games, so they got shut down as well. So, I still do think VR is the future of some facet of the games industry and the entertainment industry. I don't know if Microsoft, looking at everything that happened in 2016, is going to sort of hedge all their bets on that, like Sony has.
I think it'll be an option with the Oculus tie-in that we've talked about many times, and
It could be funny if we're just completely wrong. And there's just no
we're always completely
and,
wrong.
and
Yes.
we like pretty much decided that Oculus is gonna have compatibility. Like,
yeah,
could
and
never
they're-
happen.
But the difference is, it could be, it's in play that we might have a second generation device versus everything that we saw in 2016.
Yeah, where Oculus Touch is the default control scheme.
Exactly.
It's Touch
Yeah.
2.0 and maybe a wireless headset, which
Yep.
I think is the big thing separating, the big thing before taking the next step into VR is that.
Yeah.
I think it would also
rid
be
of the
interesting if,
They had-
since Scorpio is going to be, we know, the one thing we know about it is it's going to be the most powerful console on the market. If it is able to, so Sony's done a good job of aligning itself with brands like Red Dead and Destiny and Battlefront. But even if Sony does that through marketing, if the fact of the matter is that all of those games will look better on a Scorpio,
Word will get around.
word will get around.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I feel like that is, by creating the most powerful console, that might be them being able to beat Sony at their own, admittedly winning marketing strategy.
All right. Well, always curious to hear what you guys think. We've got a comment section below. Who doesn't? Let us know what you think. Let's move on to the news. There's not a lot this week. You guys
Slim
recorded.
pickings.
You guys recorded on Wednesday. We were lucky to have a 3-day weekend, and we're actually recording on Tuesday because Destin and I are off for
On
a
travels.
big assignment tomorrow, which would be our usual recording
Are
day.
people who listen to this podcast going to care about your assignment?
yeah.
That's
I
good.
hope so. I hope so. So that leads me to the one big story this week, which is we've got a lawsuit that's been filed. It's not quite clear who it's against yet, but it should be Microsoft and/or Epic, since Microsoft was the publisher and now sole owner of the Gears of War IP. They're getting sued over the Coltrane. Woo!
It took a while. My immediate thought with this is like, man, it took you a really long time to sue them
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah, let me give you
Shane
this
was slow to
story.
leave the station.
Courtesy of IGN.com. Former football player and wrestler Lenwood Hamilton is suing the creators of Gears of War, claiming the company stole his likeness and nickname Coltrane for Gears of War. The news comes via TMZ. Although the report doesn't specify which company is being sued, we can assume it's either Epic or Microsoft. Hamilton also claims to be acquainted with Lester Spate, voice of Augustus Cole in Gears of War, from when they were wrestlers together in Soul City Wrestling. Hamilton says he discussed creating the Coltrane character for a video game with Spate and is suing him also. Wow. Hey, Coltrane, suing you as well.
Wow.
I'm suing anybody who's even remotely associated to this.
God bless
Well,
America.
I
Bring
was
it on,
friends with
sucker.
Ryan, and he likes Xbox, and we talked about making the Master Chief, so I'm gonna sue. Like, it's the same logic as this.
Further accusations. There are more. There are further accusations include the character's physical appearance being identical to his own, with Hamilton. So he wears the gear armor, I guess, the cog armor.
I'm gonna Google what Lenwood Hamilton looks like
with
right now.
Hamilton also wearing a derby hat, wristbands, and sporting a gold front tooth.
Let's go to this next sentence right now.
He also claims he hired a forensic voice examiner to compare his voice to Cole's, with the results being, quote, indistinguishable.
Wow, this is.
That's not how
I
that
feel like this is
works.
paranoia.
Hamilton says his son's
feel like he
friend,
wants money.
his son's friend showed him Gears of War in January of last year, and this was the first time he discovered the character. He's suing for sales and profits, and given how much Gears of War has made since 2006, he could be suing for a lot if the case goes through.
What's he look like, Alana?
I mean, he looks like a large, muscly dude who shares a race with Cole. Like, they don't look all that similar to me.
Yeah, but according to a forensics expert, their voice is, quote, indistinguishable.
Is
I
that
bet I
how
could distinguish two.
anyone talks?
Yeah.
Like, is that? I mean, it's very hard to comment on this without knowing Lenwood Hamilton, but
It's weird that
I find this funny.
It's weird that he's winning a bunch of Tony Awards for Hamilton,
Yeah.
the Broadway musical, and then he's now going to sue Epic. I don't know.
Yeah,
it
it
seems
looks-
like it's out of character.
Yeah, all those quotes in Hamilton where he's like, "Yeah, baby, bring it, sucker."
I can't imagine that Mr. Hamilton has much of a chainsaw bayonet to lean on here.
Oh boy.
You pre-plan that, didn't you?
Did not written
You
down.
That was really good.
absolutely
He's a
Not
pro.
written down.
He's a pro.
Off the cuff, baby. That's how we do it here.
Well, we can sue you if you get too excited with that kind of language.
That's true.
It's much too similar to call.
Well, we'll see you like 10
Razor
years from
hail.
now.
You guys remember the song at the end of Gears of War 1 that
Oh,
was
yeah.
like,
It's very bad.
woo, stand up.
Yep.
Wait.
Yeah.
I thought that
Fall
was.
down.
You mean the
That's not
Ice-T
one.
song in Gears of War 2 in the credits?
I thought it was the credits of 1.
Ice-T did a song at the end of 2 because Ice-T is in Gears.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's 2.
It is?
Yeah.
Either way, I still know the lyrics to the song. And
That's not great.
yeah, I should probably learn something else more valuable.
Anything else.
My time would be
Yeah.
good. But yeah, this is very funny. I'm very interested to see if he succeeds. I don't remember Coltrane wearing a derby hat.
I don't either. That's you mentioned that.
sporting-
I'm gonna be
Golf
also, I'm gonna be
reference.
real. I don't know what a derby hat is.
Isn't that the little kind of bowler hat just with the little?
Like, is it a?
No.
I don't know.
Maybe
Anybody?
we don't know what a
Bueller?
derby
No.
hat is.
Oh, it's like a yarmulke, right?
Yeah.
A yarmulke, like a little,
Yeah, let's go with
a little
that.
black saucer that you wear
I
on top of your head.
I don't know.
I
Yeah,
don't know about
it's
that
a
one.
yarmulke.
but I would give anything to have for Phil Spencer to have been on Periscope when he heard about this. Just the
Yeah.
just the out loud just guffaw that must have come out of him.
I find it so funny that he heard it
his
through his
office.
son's friend.
Yeah.
10
That's so
years
funny.
later.
Just like,
Yeah.
hey, that kind of I'm suing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to take them for every dime.
Didn't Lindsay Lohan try to sue for her likeness in GTA
Did
5?
not go well
Yeah,
for her.
Yeah.
did not
Yeah.
succeed.
Did not go well
But
for
they
her.
didn't look anything like or do anything alike. Actually, I think it was just
It was just a loading
a
screen.
loading
arc.
screen. You're right.
Yeah.
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 I don't think she was actually in the game anyway.
It's not even like a parody of her. It's just,
Just a blonde girl.
yeah, just a blonde girl.
Yep.
I mean, if he put it this way, if he wins,
got
I
some
will
lawsuits.
bankrupt Telltale
Yeah.
personally. I will personally bankrupt Telltale. I just finished Batman, Telltale's Batman, Cobblepot again.
Wow, he does
This,
look like
this
you.
face minus this.
You're kind of a
He
jerk.
really does look like you.
Vaughn was even more directly this.
Yeah. and Tales from the
Tales from the Borderlands.
Please don't bankrupt them. I like their game.
Wait 10 years.
Wait 10 years.
Yeah.
Hey, I just
That's the moment to strike.
my son's friend, just the son I don't have.
You having a son?
A long time. Just told me about this thing. I like the idea that somehow 10 years from now you're so out of touch with games that your son's friend is telling us, man, how the mighty have fallen. Yeah,
What's a telltale?
yeah, I don't remember any of my past life. So,
I can
yeah.
imagine how many of these lawsuits have existed throughout time that we just don't know about.
Oh, there's plenty.
Have gotten swept under the rug.
So people have actually been tweeting at you and I occasionally. I don't know if you've seen it about companies using IGN photos of us
Oh,
playing
yeah.
VR.
To promote their like weird like the Newport,
Right.
Virginia new VR experience, and it
Right.
has the photo of the two of us.
And so I'm going
was
to
the game?
email.
It's great. Well, obviously, we give it our seal of approval. Sorry if your
I'm going to
kids die
start
in there.
emailing all of them to take it down because apparently if they don't, you get to sue them. You can get like $2,000 for someone just using a
To
photo.
be
of
honest,
you on
I
the site.
think the Newport VR experience has $2,000.
Also, I think IGN would take the money, so I wouldn't get to keep it anyway.
Yeah, you wouldn't see a dime of it, I'm
Yeah.
afraid.
But in theory, it's nice.
Maybe we'd get two
Free
free
money.
tickets to the Newport VR experience.
That would be great, and then we can take our own photos.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you can take it down, or Marty and Alana have agreed if they get to try it out.
So, yes, best of luck to Mr. Hamilton because something
of
tells me he's going to need it. Alana,
Hi.
you know, in Australia right now, as I'm sure you can attest, it's summer, unlike the rainy hellscape that it is here, or for many of our northern hemisphere viewers, snowy hellscape.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's happens to
weatherman
also be
voice.
cold in here.
Yeah, was that your cold voice?
Yeah, it's my weatherman voice.
Ryan, did you write this news?
No, I didn't write this. Is
Okay.
this is
I'm cracking up reading it.
I think it was actually
dude.
Lucy.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. An actual Australian wrote
Well,
this.
well done, Lucy.
What have you Australians been up to in the world of Xbox? You're making tchotchkes.
Well,
That sound great, by the way.
Xbox Australia actually has, I guess, a really different marketing budget to what the US version has because they get away with doing a lot of weird stuff. New Zealand was the first country to technically launch the Xbox One. And they did that by having it inside a fish tank that someone then had to go in and like swim down and get out of this tank that I think had like sharks and stuff in it.
What?
Ours, the first Xbox, was we had Master Chief like speedboat towards this venue that was in Sydney Harbour and like walk off the speedboat and deliver this Xbox One. This is like very well-known Australian band was playing. Like they're all very elaborate and
Darude?
ridiculous.
Was it Darude?
It was the presets, actually. If you've
Shout
heard
out to
them.
Darude.
It was not Darude, but yeah, they have they've done really cool stuff for Forza Horizon, where they rented out like Lamborghinis and partnered with Uber, so you could get picked up in Forza Horizon branded Lamborghinis, and they do a lot of weird stuff. This one's
Let's move there.
yeah. Well, I'm really mad I didn't get one of those Xbox onesies. All of my friends were getting sent them, and I knew that if I had to live there, I would have gotten one of those damn things, and they had like people's gamer tags like embroidered on them.
You would have
like,
had to wear it on the podcast, though.
I would have willingly worn it on the podcast and
You'd have been
every
most
other point in
comfortable,
time
yeah.
ever. It's amazing. So,
It's all dirty and gross.
well, yeah, I just imagine them
like, I
getting
should
stained with
wash
Doritos.
this.
So yeah, summertime in Australia right
Now,
now. What are they doing?
They have introduced the Xbox Floaty, which is a pool float. It's a giant inflatable Xbox One S controller that can be used
it's
in
so
the pool, the ocean, or wherever wet times are had.
What?
I love that line.
What up?
Shout out to Wet Times.
The limited edition Floaty, which comes complete with 2 drink holders,
Hashtag water sports.
was conceptualized around Australia Day, where pool parties are often held to celebrate the hot weather. That's
When's Australia?
They
that's
do
a
that
polite way
everywhere.
of saying what Australia Day is.
Is Australia days? Oh yeah.
You just, yeah. Anyway, in a press release sent out this morning, Xbox Australia noted that the limited edition giant inflatable Xbox One S controller is not compatible with the Xbox One or Xbox One S gaming console,
Darn it!
Xbox One Play and Chat Kit, Xbox One Chat headset, or Xbox One stereo headset. It is, however, suitable for use in swimming pools, freshwater pools, or the ocean all summer long.
Watch out for sharks.
He sounds Australian.
Watch out for sharks.
I like mine better.
It's so different.
I
do it.
I don't
It-
right
it
away.
It was quote. I hired a forensics expert, and it was quote indistinguishable.
Indistinguishable.
You can sue me now.
Yeah.
I think this is cool.
I
They
think
keep
super
doing
cute,
weird
yeah.
stuff, and it's funny. Like we have the Australian games industry is a lot smaller, and we have some of our like grumpier, like more jaded people who are in the industry who are just like trash talking the Xbox onesie so hard, but then because like everyone also knows most of the PR people, they chime in and be like, "Lighten up for once. We thought it was funny." And they're like, "I'm sorry, you're right." And just like this beautiful industry imploding on itself because Xbox did something really dumb. I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's
Big fan
great.
of that stuff.
All right, field trip. We're going to be doing the show live from Sydney
From the
next
beach.
week.
I will actually be in Sydney on February 5th and 6th. I'll see if I can get my hands on one.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please bring it back.
I'll email them in advance and see if I can get one.
What if you float back across the ocean in one?
That sounds like a good way to die.
Yeah, sounds like a great way to die. Well,
Yeah.
coming, kiddo.
All right, let's do it.
Xbox One Life to Live
Nice.
across the ocean. Yeah.
I'd watch that movie.
Just imagine fan art of
it's a
you
vibe.
in the middle of the ocean with a drink.
2, actually. It comes
yeah,
with
yeah.
Oh,
two.
two, sorry.
2, thank you. 2 drink holders.
Talking to a beach ball with a face painted
Thought
on
bubble,
it.
this was a terrible idea.
But yeah, I should mention I'm going home for Rooster Teeth Expo in Sydney. I will be doing some stuff there that I can't talk about yet, but Kojima's going to be there.
Wow.
And the Nintendo Switch is playable for the first time in Australia there. If anyone lives there, you should definitely try and hit that up.
Yeah,
Sydney,
sounds
February 5th and 6th, I think.
Excellent. That's really it. Nothing else going on. Just, still
talk about
quiet.
anything else?
Quiet time of the
What are
year.
you guys playing right now?
Nothing got canceled this week that I'm aware of, so that's a plus.
I'm playing Mass Effect 3.
I'm playing a lot of Final Fantasy.
I'm
15?
playing Mass Effect 1.
You are. We are playing Mass Effect 1.
You've
The
made it to November.
fourth
fourth
episode?
episode went up today.
Yeah, we recorded 2 more last week. We're going to record some more
did.
this week.
Yes.
You're not going to make it. You're off the show. It's going to be
I'll finish the first game.
really sad.
You probably will finish the first game. I think you can do that.
I think you can do the
but
first one.
Yes.
If you really put your mind to it.
I'll finish 2 and 3 myself.
Anyone else playing anything cool right now?
I really like Telltale Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even-
I was really
even
pleased
waiting?
with it.
Even the last 2?
I didn't think
I thought episode 4 just started so badly.
it didn't bother me. I was
I played
you
it
guys
all in
braced
one.
me for it. The usual episode
yeah.
4 curse.
Yeah.
But it was fine. I thought 1 and 2 were the strongest.
2's my
episodes.
favorite. I really
Yeah.
liked 2.
I like 2 a lot.
1 and 2 are great, but
Yeah.
Waiting for Resident Evil.
I'm
yeah.
crazy
It's coming
excited
up.
about Resident Evil.
Excited for Resident Evil.
And outside of that, this weekend I played a bunch of Bully because it's now
backwards compatible. Yeah.
Okay, I've been talking about wanting to play that game for a really long time. It's not that good.
Doesn't hold up, huh?
Anymore?
I mean, it is basically like I think the dialogue and the cutscenes are very good, but the gameplay is the camera controls are very odd, and it's a lot of go here, do this, go here, do this, go here, do this. It's just a full game of fetch quests that you don't really.
Yeah.
It's passive. I can play it without even listening to it.
Yeah, the character's story and Bulworth Academy as a setting, I really love.
And I think when it came out, it would have been amazing.
Oh, totally.
But especially
Yeah.
for now, it's like
It's hard to revisit.
Fine.
It's hard to revisit a especially like a sort of 3D action adventure game from 10 years ago, more than 10
the
years ago.
graphics aren't bothering me, but yeah, some of the controls are really
less
difficult.
graphics and more just gameplay. Like,
Yeah.
if you, yeah.
Anytime you want to turn a corner, it does this. It's just difficult. It shouldn't be that hard to turn around a corner. Also, the skateboarding is really janky and just everything is just LT to either lock on or aim, which you have no control over, and then X. So it's really just incredibly passive and kind of mashy. I don't think it's bad at all. Like, it's still super fun and worth playing because the cutscenes are so good and the dialogue is so good and the voice acting is also very good. Loads of weird characters, but as a game, not as good as I remember.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you how much Rockstar gameplay has evolved over the
Oh my
last
god!
two generations.
I was
Absolutely.
just gonna say, even GTA 4 has been rendered so
Compared to
old by
GTA
GTA
5.
5
Yeah.
from on every level.
Yeah.
I reviewed the Ezio collection for us a couple months ago, and going back, like I love Assassin's Creed 2 and the entire trilogy, and going back and playing 2 was really tough.
That makes me
just
so
because of
sad.
how much the gameplay has improved,
Yeah.
especially in like Black Flag, Unity, and Syndicate. Just the actual feel of the game.
Yeah, it just bums me out because it means that, like, you know, I've spoken about this before. There's a timer on old games, I think. Gets to a point where it's too old for you to enjoy because you have other stuff that makes it hard to play in
Yeah.
comparison. The idea that there's a timer on Assassin's Creed 2 when I still think, like, it is one of the best game narratives that I've ever experienced, that's so upsetting. Like, maybe they could remake it.
You can still kill the Pope.
That's good. Yeah, that's what I want.
He's
in a
not
video
young
game.
Pope, but he's regular Pope.
What's up with that young Pope?
It's a Pope that likes to bang out and smoke cigarettes.
Seems weird.
On the subject of games we're playing right now, Destin, what can we spend our money on? What's going
All right.
on out there?
Retail, nothing.
Nothing yet.
Yeah.
Resident Evil coming up.
That's 24th.
I
Yes, a
believe
week
that sounds right.
It's
Yeah.
next week. Yeah.
Very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Digitally, though, you can play Pit People. It's in Xbox Game Preview, so you can check it out. It's
Yeah.
$15,
Pit
but has a
People's
free trial.
next game from Behemoth.
Yeah, the
that's
Castle Crashers,
Alien
and,
Hominid,
and what?
Battle Block Theater.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah.
Pit People's interesting. It's kind of it's a light top-down space-based, not space as in area-based tactics game. A little bit like Fire Emblem.
It's hexagons, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Hexagon. So it's a little like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics. It's really cool, really charming.
Rise and Shine is $15. You guys know anything about that one?
Nope.
Now, all
right.
these, remember, any one of these could be fake at any time, except they're not.
Which one's the fake game? Silvio is $13. Dead Effect 2.
Definitely the fake game.
No, that's not the fake game because I read a story.
I
about-
read that too.
about how
I know where
the
you're going.
developer in an email to a site said, hey, we'll supply you with code to this game, but if you give it a bad review, note that we're going to stop supplying you with review codes going forward.
Yikes.
All right.
That's not.
Don't send me a
Don't
code.
do
How
that.
about
That's not
Yeah.
a thing you should ever
Don't do that.
Friday Night Bullet Arena is $10. Siegecraft Commander, $20 or $13.39 if you're a gold member. RWBY Grand
Ruby, I think.
Eclipse. It's Ruby.
It is
yeah.
Ruby.
Yeah. It's a $20. Well, I was trying
It's
to
a
think
Rooster
of the,
Teeth animated series.
Yeah, it's Rooster Teeth animated. Monty Oum created it.
Yes.
Yeah.
correct.
Saban Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Mega Battle, $15.
Okay, every one of these games, when Saban's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Mega Battle is the most clearly best named game on this list, like what is going on? These
Sounds
are all
like a
named so
Capcom game
terribly.
to me.
All of these are poorly
Friday
named.
Night Bullet
Ruby
Arena
has a
sounds
huge
alright.
following.
Do but
It
yeah,
does,
but make
yeah.
better names.
Ruby,
Everyone,
Glim Eclipse. I don't
everyone
know
make
what that
better
means.
names.
What
Come
do
to
you-
me and I'll make
can
you
we
a better name.
Go back to this Dead Effect 2 thing.
Yeah.
So they said they wouldn't give out review codes if people.
Was that them or was it Silvio?
It was Dead Effect 2.
So I was going to ask, is that an indie studio that doesn't have a marketing agency?
Probably.
So
I
it's
looked-
probably a dev that
So
said
I
that.
looked.
That's
They
crazy.
emailed me for code, and I didn't get any. None of that was in my
no
email.
threat?
No threat. So they were threatening smaller sites, which is not nice. Don't threaten
That
smaller
is
sites.
not nice to
crazy.
threaten anyone.
So I want to point out it's crazy because no one is ever going to fall for that. Like no one is ever going to be like, I'm not going to review your game because you won't give me a code of the next one. If I want to
Especially if
review
your
it, I'll
game's
just
Dead
buy
Effect
it.
2.
Like that's insane.
I'll never fall for that. Let's keep talking about them
Also,
on the Xbox biggest podcast.
Is that
That's
gonna
the thing. It creates conversation.
I
about your
don't think
product.
that would have been intentional.
Oh no, this is
but yeah.
negative conversation.
Yeah.
would that
It
even
is.
work?
More eyeballs on
Is
your
somebody
product.
is some smaller time website gonna read that and go, oh my gosh, I guess I'll give it a better review than I was going to now. Like, that's not going to work.
I mean, I hope not. I wouldn't think so. I really wouldn't think
Ridiculous.
I'd just be like, no thanks.
Also,
Yeah,
I would
wouldn't
actually-
What
take
do you
the
get
cut.
as a smaller website out of that?
also, I'm gonna quit the podcast if I don't finish Dead Effect 1 by the time Dead Effect 2 comes out, which is seemingly today. So.
Yeah, which is now.
Arrivederci.
Well,
Marketplace, Halo
Finally
Wars 2 Blitz Mode multiplayer beta starts on Friday.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm kind of a little concerned that just in the sense I'm really looking forward to Halo Wars 2, but I feel like we've only really been hearing about multiplayer.
Yeah.
When
Campaign
was
Hello?
really good in Halo Wars, and that's what I care about
So
for the second one.
my
Like,
guess with this is that they're trying to make it an esport.
no, just
Yeah.
don't and make it cool for what it is.
Yes.
I mean,
No.
I feel like they'll probably make it have a good campaign as well.
Gosh, I
like I,
hope
think
so.
StarCraft still has a good campaign, but it's easy to push something continuously if they can make it an esport.
I know I'm
That's why I
old,
shoot
but-
that angle.
Harumph.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Ryan remembers the
Rap,
day
rap,
when
rap,
his
rap,
sports
rap.
weren't electronic.
that's right.
How was baseball?
He played
fantasy?
baseball.
Yeah, it's all of last week.
Yeah.
So nice.
Games with Gold. We have World of Van Helsing Death Trap, January 1st to 31st. Killer Instinct Season 2 Ultra Edition, January 16th to February 15th on Xbox One. The Cave, January 1st to 15th on 360 and
Suck
One.
it if you didn't get it.
Rayman
Dang.
Origins, the 16th to 31st on 360 and Xbox One.
Get Rayman. That's a very good game.
Wasn't Outlast? Was that last month?
Yes.
Because I only just managed
Yeah.
to get that like 2
Because
days
that
ago.
it was Burnout. It was all the out games.
Yeah.
All the out
Outland,
games.
I hope
Outlast,
I remember
That's
to
it.
get Burnout.
Burnout.
All right. So my absence last week meant that this thing didn't get given away only because I'm unfortunately the only one with access to the unlocked trivia emails.
I have access, but I can't look. So
Well,
What?
yeah, I guess.
What does that mean?
He's
Because if he looks at the emails, he knows what the
has
answers are.
integrity.
That's how he's won the last 2 years. He's cheated.
I see.
So let's give it away now, shall
is
we?
rad.
Yeah, that as I mentioned,
oh my
I like you guys. You
Red
guys
Hot
can
Chili
stay.
Peppers.
As I mentioned 2 shows ago, the quick backstory on this is it's just a giant, awesome paperweight that does light up. You can put a battery and there's a light bulb in there. It's just a paperweight, but it's super cool. It is a tchotchke given to the original Xbox team from Microsoft.
It's 78 pounds.
How did we get one of those?
Seamus Blackley, the creator of the original Xbox, purposely bid it so far up on auction that he won it by a mile. He made a very, very generous donation to a charitable organization to get it, and then was extra kind enough to send it to us for us to give away.
You know what we should do? Wait, we're giving that away?
We're giving this away
Oh.
at Seamus Blackley's request because he
That's really
donated
cool.
a bunch of money
so
to charity.
For those who are listening to the audio version, it's like an X
It's in the-
paperweight, silver, shiny. It's really pretty.
It's in the shape of the original Xbox prototype,
Yes,
the
that
literal
silly-looking thing.
X box. So
That's really
4
cool.
inches tall, 4 inches
it's,
deep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, you could bludgeon someone to death
You
with
could,
this
you
Absolutely.
could
thing.
murder
quite
your
heavy.
husband with that.
Straight up.
What?
Yeah, you could murder your husband with that.
Sure.
There's no blood on this one, though.
What?
Just FYI, it's clean. All right, so the winner is Evan Connett from Beaverton, Oregon,
Congratulations, Evan.
who wins for this this trivia question he sent in, which conveniently ties into the original Xbox. Remember, so we no trivia last week, and then the previous week nobody got it right. So we're still waiting for you guys to get on the board. And the question from Evan is this: the original Xbox released in 2001, of course, and it went through several different DVD disc drives over its lifespan. Which disk drive model was the first and the one that was sort of notorious for suffering from the most problems? Was it the Philips drive, the Thomson drive, the Samsung drive, or the Hitachi drive? Do you guys remember? I hope you've written down. If not, it's going to have to just be honor
I
system.
have one in my brain.
You have one in my brain because this is the least I've known the answer to a question.
Yep. I have
I don't
absolutely
know.
no idea.
I don't know either.
Let me pull out the
Did you
scorecard.
say everyone
here.
has 0?
Everyone has 0. I'm
Yeah,
just
well,
waiting to Mark make some.
Dang.
Let's keep that going.
Okay, so we don't have any writing utensils. I will go to Alana first. Do you know Alana? Phillips.
I
Marty?
was also going to go with Phillips.
Phillips. Dustin?
I thought that originally because of the CDI, but I went Hitachi D.
Hitachi. Okay, well, this year's trivia is going terribly.
Was it Samsung?
It's the Thompson drive.
Damn
the
it, man.
I've never even heard of
I
Thompson.
thought that was fake.
Yeah, I
I
thought
thought
that
it
was
was
made
a
up.
red herring.
I'm
fake.
revoking your Xbox cred.
Did you know
guys.
what this
You knew
was?
Yes,
this?
absolutely.
How?
I've never heard any of these words.
I covered this stuff.
Oh, well, I didn't cover it.
Yeah, the Thompson drives were notoriously prone to failure.
And now they don't exist.
Now they're
You know, maybe
long
that
gone.
should have been a giveaway. Is the one that we didn't recognize was the one that would suck?
Yeah.
I also thought it was a red herring.
That's all right.
boy.
I've never heard of a Thompson drive. That's clearly not the answer.
Evan still wins. Good job, Evan. We'll get this in the mail to you here
Damn it.
very shortly. And use it in good health. Please don't murder anyone with it. And please also don't resell it. Just keep it and enjoy it and love it.
Yeah,
and,
reselling it would suck. Don't do
And
that.
tweet at Seamus Blackley and tell him how awesome he is and what a kind human he is for
Dirty.
donating that. If you would like to win something, it won't be this, but it can be an Xbox One game or an Xbox 360 game that's compatible on
I
Xbox
also think
One.
we still have some Gears of War Collector's Edition statues.
Oh yeah,
and
I need
Battlefield 1 and
I need
Recall.
those to send out to some
Get
people.
them from Pablo.
I know, but
I don't know where they are.
help me, please help me. I wasn't here last
Been
week.
over this.
Help me, Pablo. You're our only hope.
Help
Pablo.
me, Pablo. Help. All right. Send your Xbox-related trivia question. Include 4 multiple-choice answers. Note the correct one in your email. And send all that where, Alana?
You can send that to our email address, which is unlocked@ign.com.
Perfect.
I
Nailed
totally knew that.
it.
Also, don't have an answer be Thompson.
well, hopefully we won't let you down next time. You can also check us out on youtube.com/IGN and on Facebook. If you search for Podcast Unlocked, you will find us on there as well. That's a community group. They're pretty active in there. So
All
of
the
the above.
questions moving forward have Thompson as one of the correct answers.
Yeah, you guys might not live that one down for a little while. With
yeah, I
your-
had no idea.
I thought it
I
was
can live this
fake.
one. I'm going to sleep just fine tonight because
Yeah.
I think it's a.
My defense
Jerk
is that
question.
I was very young.
Okay, well, you guys don't have an excuse.
No, we're just senile. we're going senile.
So
We're
yes,
too
all right.
old.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's going to get on the board next week. Somebody's going to get
I
it
hope
right,
so.
even if I have to end up throwing you guys a softball. Or I could just try to shut you out all year.
That'd be pretty impressive.
That would be kind of impressive.
I feel like at
We'll
that
see.
point in
I had
2018,
a
you need to
stretch
get
where
an
I did
entirely
pretty
new
bad.
cast if we don't get
Yeah.
any right. Yeah.
I think that would probably be a
Bring
fair.
back Mitch.
fair
I
way
was
to
going to
treat
say
it.
that.
Mitch.
I miss Mitch.
Let's go, shall we?
Yeah, let's
It's
go.
late in the day. It's time to go. Destin, you and I have a plane to catch here
Yeah.
shortly. So, you know what? Hell, I'm glad I got to this.
I can't believe you're revealing the new Gex game. Incredible.
I forgot to mention this during Destin's marketplace segment. Adolfo from the studio Lienzo, a tiny game development studio in Mexico, they have a new game that's out on Friday. It wasn't in the Major Nelson list because it's not out yet. It's called
Dead
Hunter's
Effect
Legacy.
2. Oh, no.
Oh no! What have we done?
Sponsored by Dead Effect 2.
No, he actually sent an extremely nice note with
What's the game called?
so it's got a very cool artistic style going on in this
What's it
game.
called now?
Hunter's Legacy. It is out on. It's a 2D. Old school 2D single player Metroidvania platformer where you control Ikki, IKKI, a fierce kitty skilled with twin swords and a bow, better known as the Great Huntress of Unamak. Ikki uses different mechanics like wall climbing, gliding through the air with the help of spores, and changing her body temperature to traverse puzzles and beat her quest.
I do that.
Cool.
So I wanted to mention that since that's out this week, and Adolfo is actually an Unlocked fan, so
cool.
made a
That's
game,
awesome.
Thanks, Adolfo.
which is way more than I've ever done in my life. So check that out on,
Cool.
You made a
on
child.
Xbox Live.
You
Creative life.
did literally have it.
Making a game's way harder than making a kid.
Well, says the dad. Yeah.
Touche. Yeah. You've got me there.
I made
Like
a,
I said, it's making a game's way
I made a
harder.
game in Project Spark, and I haven't made a child yet.
Congrats.
World's probably better off. But,
Hey.
oh, I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. No, that'd be terrible. That'd be an awful decision.
Anyway,
so many allergies.
yeah, take a look at Hunter's Legacy releasing this Friday on Xbox One, also PS4. Actually, it's not out on PS4 till next week, so that 4-day Xbox One exclusive,
What?
timed exclusive. Enjoy it.
Why'd you do a gang thing? Don't do that.
I was trying to be Ryan's hype man. Like,
yeah.
what?
I appreciate that. I need all the help I can
Jacket
get.
Boys back in the studio. Ba, 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 ba. World Star.
Then we're really
Let's
sorry.
leave.
Okay.
Destin,
Yeah.
where can we find you? What are you up to? promote yourself.
Got it. Twitter at Destin Legary, and I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/the Destin channel.
Let me guess, you're twitching Mass Effect.
I'm tired because I played Mass Effect for almost 15 hours. I did like a marathon.
No, you're gonna be like, for almost 15 years, I've been playing Mass Effect.
yeah. It was really fun though, and you guys can check that out if you enjoy.
Be sure to watch Destin's 78th playthrough of Mail Shep in Mass Effect.
Manship.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably never play through it again now that Andromeda's around the corner. So
That's a lie.
Bold proclamation.
That's a complete lie.
You can find me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. That's pretty much it. Alana.
I am on Twitter at Charalanazard, and I recently made a YouTube video that you maybe shouldn't watch about fake news, but I wanted to mention it because the man who created BioShock thanked me for making it on Twitter.
Ken Levine.
Yeah. He tweeted me
you
and
can
said
name drop.
thanks. Well, I wasn't sure if
Title drop.
everyone would know who that. Of course, people who listen to that podcast know who this is. But anyway, I thought that was very cool. I'm very proud of
That is cool.
Yeah.
Marty, take us home.
I am at McBiggity on everything. Alana and I are also slowly playing through Mass Effect.
We
So
are.
you can check out our
You're
Let's
really
Play.
not.
I
You're
think
just
our Let's
faking
Play is pretty funny.
I think we're doing good.
We started off with some bad parts and they kept
guys-
skipping the damn dialogue.
But now I'm not.
But now he's not, and he died a lot.
I did a lot. When
In
I
the
got
most
to,
recent
when I had to
pod.
do my first Mako, yeah, don't do that.
you guys are really close to a really good part.
We just finished a really good part.
I think we just did really good. I had to make a very, I had to
was it
make a
a fight?
very big decision.
Yeah, no,
and I made a
very,
very big decision.
Oh
Yeah.
that one's
That's like one of my
Did
favorite
it
parts.
involve
Yeah.
making the sex with someone?
No, I
It
still haven't
didn't.
got to make
No,
any
that's
sex
later.
with anyone.
That's much later.
It was pretty much whether or not to eradicate a species.
we all know where Marty.
Do it.
Yeah, do it. So that's what Commander Taylor
They're
Swift
aliens.
makes the right decision.
Oh yeah, she looks like Taylor Swift.
And then also, it's a couple months away, but we're going to be at PAX East. We have a couple panels, and we'll talk.
Are we
a lot more
talking about that already, man?
We'll
What
talk a lot more.
isn't
Well,
it January?
I mean, I
South
assume
hasn't happened.
you
My
and I are
goodness.
going.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna be going. We'll be there. We'll see you there.
PAX East is the ball.
I got to go last year, and a bunch of super cool IGN fans said hello, and were it was that was a really fun show to be at.
Yeah. So we'll have a lot more on that leading up to its March 10th when it happens.
Outstanding. For Marty, Alana, and Destin, my name's Ryan. This was Unlocked episode, 279. My goodness. We will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.